my humble opinion, I'm also okay lah. I'm glad because Ronaldo coming in is a huge boost. And then you forget about everything. You forget about all your problems. It's like 1 against 11. Kita boleh menang 5-0. You know that kind of feeling. Salam sejahtera and welcome to Jom United. We are a Malaysian Manchester United fan channel, a fully vaccinated Malaysian Manchester United fan channel. Okay, yes, dengan bangganya buatan Malaysia. If you are new to our channel, please smash the like button, leave a comment, and click subscribe at the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, we are on the road to 1,000 subs. We are almost there, almost there. Help us together achieve our milestone, all right? And also don't forget to turn on the bell notification at the bottom right hand corner so that you will be notified when we release a new video like this. Okay, and another thing, do not forget to join our Telegram group. Okay, got some drama going on here and there lah, but it's fine lah, it's under control lah. We got good admins, man. I'm the only admin. But yeah, but it's cool, It's seriously a nice place to be around. A lot of banter, a lot of fun, a lot of football discussion, and occasionally some tension here and there, but it's fine, it's all good. Okay, so for our United content, okay guys, transfer window finally closed. We can all get a good night's sleep already now, okay? We start off with Syed first lah. So what do you think about our incoming transfer window in a nutshell?
You can only dream about the players we have signed this transfer window. Starting from Sancho, we were waiting for, I think, more than 2 years or 1.5 years. We finally got him. Young player, 21-year-old, he can score goal, he can make assist, very good player, very emerging player. And then we got Varane. What a brilliant signing, because we really need someone who can be calm, collected, who can control the defense, who can, point out the players. Even the last game when I saw Varane was, doing this calm down, everything is controlled. So you can trust him, you can believe him, there is someone in the defense who can really control the defense. He's someone you can just give a cigar and then he can have a cigar and he can also defend players. He's so calm. And we also got Tom Heaton, but Tom Heaton, he's just like a goalkeeper coach, something player. He can only play, close door matches and all. And then we got Cristiano Ronaldo. It was a dream signing for all the fans. Although he's 36-year-old, people say he's already finished. He cannot play in Premier League anymore. He's not like the same player as he was before when we signed him, 18-year-old. I can get that point that, you cannot expect Ronaldo to, beat the defense and running down the wing and all those things. But now he's become a center forward where he can just stand in the middle. He can score on the header. He can score tap-ins. He can be in the goal scoring position. So, even last year in Syria, he scored 29 goals. And then he started 33 games out of 38. So he's still a factory of scoring goals. And he's a product of a really hard-trained athlete. So you can still expect Ronaldo to score at least 25. Considering Premier League to compare to Syria, although Syria is also very defensive league, but in Premier League, you can still expect him to score at least 25 goals for us this season. And hopefully he can help the team to, to get some trophies, to also boost up the youngsters such as Greenwood, 19-year-old, Sancho, 21, Rashford, I think also 22, 23. So he can really influence those three players, also Martial as well. So he can also influence all of the youngsters who are on the front to up their games. We are saying somebody will pick 10%, somebody will pick 50%. You never know how other players are willing to learn from him. So that's a good sign from for an overall signing for the club, for the fans, for the players, and for the goals as well. But there is a missing thing. We all expected United to make a signing of CDM. Even after the Villarreal lost in the Europa League final, we were all discussing that we need 3 players. We need a centre back, we need a right wing, and we need a CDM. We got the winger, we got the centre back. We also got a Cristiano Ronaldo, which is a mega world class signing. He's still one of the best players in the world. But we needed CDM, which we didn't get this in this transfer window. Some of the journalists are saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was never thinking about a CDM. He was only thinking about right wing. But I still think there is a hole in the midfield. I want to be positive, but I really don't have any hopes about Fred because he has been consistent in giving poor performances. On the other hand, McTominay is progressing. He wants to learn. He wants to play a game. You can see, for example, in the training and in the in the pre-match and the post-match interviews, you can see like he really wants to put 100% on the pitch. But with the Fred, I'm really disappointed with all the performances he has been putting all this time. But yeah, like I can only hope McTominay to up his game, and maybe in January, when January transfer window, we can get someone to fill in this position of CTM. But overall, I would rate 8 out of 10 for this transfer window.
Okay, Josh, how about you? What's your opinion on our incoming in this transfer window?
Wow, I couldn't ask for a much better window lah. It's immense, like guys. I think with with the conclusion of the cherry on the cake, which is Cristiano Ronaldo, I think we got that we need. Varane has made immediate impact, as we saw on this. Sancho taking some time. I know a light knock as well. So yes, expected to have some a bit more time to get into the Premier League. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, the Prince of Manchester himself. This is so immense that it's not only the people don't realize, right? It's not only for him being at the first 11. It's being being in the football club. The kids of under 12, under 15. Under 9, the women's team or whoever is in the massive club, right, will go there and see Ronaldo walking by, going into the training room and see, wow, this is how you carry weights. Wow, this is what you do. This is how much you spend time in the gym. And this is going to impact the whole club, right? It's already showing an impact in financial terms for the Glazers already. So yeah, kudos to them. I hope they played a part, and I think they played a small part with the transfer. And having Cristiano in the team, and like what Shade said, he may not be the best of the CR7 that we had before, but he will get the goals. He is the world-class player, and of course, it's the reason why he's much better than Messi. And I will say it here at Jom United is because he has the two ding-dongs to come to the Premier League, while Messi goes to the Farmers League. So that's why
team.
Yeah, and that's why he's the GOAT, and when Cristiano goes to a club, he wants titles. So we hope that this one of either this season or next season, we get the Premier League and the Champions League. And I'm really positive that we will be heading there. And with Greenwood starting to get on form, we have Varane in team. You saw the game last week was fantastic. Calmness is there, and I really feel that we are going to gun for it. And watch out, Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea. We are going to make this as close as we can, guys.
No, they will be chasing us. We will leave a big gap for them to chase us. Bro, you're supposed to be positive, bro.
Yeah, because we sold Daniel James, so we cannot be as fast.
No, we don't have a pace.
Okay, I sorry guys, I gotta potong steam a bit lah. Okay, Pijal, kalau kan Ronaldo so happen lah, dia tak jadi datang lah. Okay, we just take away Ronaldo effect tu lah. Okay, dah turun 50% kita punya energy level lah. So would you still consider yang transfer ini a good transfer window?
Kalau you tanya it is a good transfer window because of if at the start of the season you beritahu kita hanya akan sign Sancho and Varane, I will be like, I won't believe you, or I will punch your face lah. It's like a fantasy, it's like a football manager kind of thing tau. Maksudnya you beritahu, nanti at the end of the transfer window nanti you akan sign Sancho and also Varane. Kan? Nanti memang, because my expectation for this transfer window, we will only sign Sancho only, and also maybe some unknown ataupun overrated central defender from somewhere, or even in the.
Oh, you mean Mings? Tyrone Mings.
Overrated English player.
Batapi ni.
Belajar daripada yang terbaik lah.
Tapi betul. If at the end of the start window tu you beritahu kita akan sign 2 players, which is Sancho and Varane, I will knock your face. But then it happens. Plus with the addition of Cristiano Ronaldo, that will be like it's a positive mood lah for us. It's something that we have to look forward to for the season lah. So memang for me for this transfer window, I consider success because of ada Cristiano Ronaldo. Is a very 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 successful transfer window. Except the defensive midfielder tu kita tolak tepi dulu lah.
Okay. The next question is I point back to Syed. Okay. My humble opinion, I'm also okay lah. I'm glad because Ronaldo coming in is a huge boost. And then you forget about everything. You forget about all your problems. It's like 1 against 11. Kita boleh menang 5-0. You know that kind of feeling. But okay, if we are realistic, right? Players like Sancho should have come in the last window. Okay, it seems like now, right? We are like maybe like one step behind of what we are supposed to do. Okay, I put you in a situation like this. The next window, when the next window comes up, most likely, okay, which I will ask you later, Paul Pogba might leave, Matic might leave. Okay, then we still need to fill up that hole. And on top of that, Cavani is going to leave. So we will need to fill up that hole as well. So what do you think about this this whole idea of us like chasing, like one step behind in our transfers compared to like someone like a Chelsea, I would say?
Yeah, I would 100% agree with you. Like Sancho should have come like one window or two window earlier. But like we are happy we got him. Like he should be with us last year as well. Technically, if I say Sancho should have arrived 1 year before, we only got Varane. Ronaldo is a bonus signing. I'm not minimizing the impact of Ronaldo, but I'm saying that it's a bonus signing, which I'm sure Manchester United board, they didn't plan to sign Ronaldo in the beginning. It's a bonus signing because he was going to City, and then Sir Alex came, and then Rio Ferdinand came, and then we finally got him. And I'm sure he will score goals, but it's a bonus signing. So I would say we only got one centre back, which was planned for this transfer window. Next year, Matic is going to retire. I think Mata also going to retire. Lingard, I think he will also go. He was not able to find a club this transfer window, but I think next transfer window he will also go. Pogba situation, we all know it's still hanging in the air. We don't know if he's going to sign the contract. He's not going to sign the contract, but hopefully because of Ronaldo, he can sign the contract because now he's playing with the big players, and there's a hope that we can win titles this year or next year. But Cavani also going, so we really need Haaland. Mbappe will go to Madrid, and I think and I hope, I pray that we get Haaland as replacement of Cavani. So Haaland can also play 1 year with Ronaldo, and then when 2 years finish, we have 1 year option to extend for Ronaldo, I think. So he can play 3 years with us. So after 3 years, we will have Haaland. We need two central midfield, one replacement for Pogba and one replacement for CDM, which we are driving, and we really want a CDM as well next transfer window.
So do you expect Pogba to leave next summer?
It's a tough one because the dynamics of the window is Camavinga signed for Real Madrid. So now I think Pogba would only stay here in United, or he would go to PSG, because PSG also looking for either Camavinga or Paul Pogba. But now it's Pogba's choice whether he wants to play with Ronaldo and play for the red shirt, or he wants to go to Farmer League and he wants to play with Messi. So I hope he choose United and stay with us. But so far it's very tough to call whether he's going to stay or he's going to leave. But never mind. If he wants to go, we should be able to sign a replacement for Pogba, and also Matic, and we need a CDM as well.
Yep. Agree.
Okay, Josh. The Cristiano Ronaldo effect. Okay, let's talk a bit more about this thing. Okay, do you see this something like when Ole came in as an interim manager? We went on an unbeaten run. There was 12, 13 games. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I forgot. Do you see this happening, or maybe we can go all the way with this?
For me, right, the Cristiano effect is as big as the Cantona effect when he came to United, lah. He's bringing in massive. It's not only, like I said, it's not only for the players. It's for the club. It's for the fans. It's for the community. It's a very nostalgic and emotional return for Cristiano. And I think for him to come back, right, it's going to give everyone that extra 20% to play harder in the games, because that is the sort of mentality that he brings to the team. So he may, an 80% Ronaldo on the pitch, right, can bring up the other 10 players to 110 and 120%, which we never had, right? It was good enough that we were starting to come back from games, but we always go down to a very simple goal or try to come back and end up with a draw. So these things should be minimized. And I think with Cristiano coming in, we should have that comfortable overcome with the lower teams, especially the mid-table and the lower teams, because we all expect Cristiano to score those goals, especially the mid and bottom teams. To be very honest, I will not be able to see Cristiano having a major impact on the big four, especially because we have seen that in the Euros as well. When he played for France, he was a bit more quiet. But even though he scored 2 goals, I think was a penalty as well. So he may not be the biggest impact because he's not as fast, he's not as agile as before. But he will bring that impact to ensure that all 10 players around him brings that. And you can see when he won the Euros of 2016, also he was the manager, and he was the player of the tournament. So yeah, we need this kind of mental the effect, So the effect is immense. I wouldn't say it's only not only on the pitch, but it's surrounding the pitch, the fans, and everything. And as what Cristiano said, he wants to do it for Sir Alex Ferguson. With that even said, right, everyone is going to be immense, and you are you don't even want to think that you are 1-0 down. So this is the type of mindset that we're going to go into every single game nowadays, and I think it's going to be a great season for us all United fans actually.
Okay, Pija, tambah daripada apa yang Josh cakap tadi, ini terus saya tanya you rasa Fred akan improve tak? Player yang paling kena kecam sekarang, Fred nombor 1, Martial nombor 2.
I take it back, guys. I take it back.
No. But then there's some guy saying dekat dalam Telegram group, whatever it is, Fred is still a United player. So we really hope, we really expect at least lah. If he's not comfortable with the ball, then do it something without the ball. I mean, go chase like a bulldog, or be someone that interrupt the attacking play of the opponent. Be something. Be that kind of effective lah. Don't be that slum, or what they call it, pemain yang menyusahkan orang lain. Macam tu. Maksudnya orang bagi bola kat you terlepas bola, you lose control of the ball. Don't be that kind of player.
Panic.
So, but then I'm pretty sure lah, Fred, and also like Josh said, not just Fred. Every player of Manchester United are going to raise their standard.
Yeah.
So that's the impact. But then the positive thing is that for this season, I'm pretty sure because of maybe last season ataupun the last 2 seasons, whenever we are 1-0 down, there's a big feeling that we're going to lose this game.
Yes.
But with the Cristiano, we won't be having that feeling. We know that some one way or another, we're going to score at least 1 goal ataupun going to come back. So to it lah.
Yeah. Just to add on to something that Pijal mentioned, yes, like regardless, I mean, this is my opinion. Also, I believe Jom United, we are all like this, okay? There are players that memang kita kecam, but then we have to give them a chance again, because they are, end of the day, they are still a United player, okay? And then, if just say they are struggling to find their form on the pitch, and on top of that, we are being so toxic, they read the stuff on the internet, that is double whammy for them. How are they going to pick themselves up, okay? Kasihan lah, people like Fred, Martial, bagi chance that's what we're trying to say okay. But end of the day, of course, we got all our opinions and whatnot. We can voice out our opinions and whatnot, but not to the point whereby extreme levels and whatnot, okay? Because end of the day, one love, one United, one Martial, okay? I gotta throw that in lah, okay? I gotta represent, okay? Only got 3 hours in the fan club now. We gotta recruit more members, okay? So let's talk a bit about the outgoing. Okay, the surprising outgoing, it's Daniel James. And then the most surprising thing was he was sold for a price of close to 30 million, almost double what we bought for him. So Syed, what do you think about that outgoing?
I mean, for the matter of fact and stats, he is the 4th expensive player we have sold in the history. We have sold Ronaldo, Lukaku, I think Angel Di Maria, and this is the 4th highest paid player we have sold. So I mean, it's really expensive.
James.
Yeah, like he's on the 4th number of the the highest price we got when we sell the player. He's on the 4th number in the history of our club. So I think it's very surprising that we managed to get like this much amount from Leeds United. I think we scammed Leeds United, but I think they were looking for him even before he joined United.
Yes.
He was about to join Leeds United, and then we signed him from Swansea. But like, to be honest, like, I'm very sad that Daniel James is leaving. I know he's not productive. He doesn't have a football brain. Everything I can accept from the football point of view. But from the emotional point of view, the energy he put in the game, he's like a kid, like, who's always ready. I think he's the one who always wake up on the match day, and then he's just so excited to play the game.
Yes.
You can feel the feeling like he's kind of boy who's like, don't sleep, like tomorrow I'm going to play a match. So that's why like I feel really sad, but I wish him best of luck for his career, but like I don't wish best of luck for Leeds United, but only for Daniel James playing for them.
Yeah, the one that I will always remember about Daniel James is that goal that he scored against Southampton. I think it was Southampton. It was an equalising goal only. He
Yeah,
scored the
yeah.
equalising
and then
goal
he
and
was
then he went and
celebrating.
celebrate. And then Martial and Rashford was like, oi, balik.
Come back,
That
come
was like,
back.
but then again, yeah, you cannot question the passion. I think that guy, right, even if he got a broken leg or whatnot, he would have played. He would have did everything he can for
Yep.
United. So we wish all the best to Daniel James. Okay, so we move on to the next player. Okay, this one we gotta talk about him because it's quite controversial at this point. Donny van de Beek. Okay, and then so happened Josh is here, our representative, our Dutch representative. Okay, apparently his agent came out and said that there are clubs that actually wanted him from Italy and whatnot. Even the Premier League, Everton was actually looking at him, but then Ole Gunnar blocked the movement. Okay, I mean the movement of the transfer of the player. So, Josh, what do you think about it? Do you really think that he has a place in Ole Gunnar's squad? Maybe there's some kind of like master plan or something like that. What do you think?
Next time you say Dutch ambassador, I will change my flag lah. But this is just a Cristiano moment for us, so I'm just putting the flag there.
Your underwear, show your underwear, show your underwear.
No, you have dual nationality, Portugal and Dutch.
Yes, double represent. So yeah, Van de Beek. I mean, I feel for the guy lah. You know, he's a very hardworking player. He comes from a team that you come through the youths, and he believed that in United. He wanted to grow with United in terms of coming from the substitute, and then work hard and then be on the first 11. And I think United was so bad, right, that he thought he could be the star when Pogba moves on, and on those things. And with what United has gauged over the past few months, and with all the signings that they have, he has fell in the pecking order under Ole. I'm not sure why. I feel that it's perhaps the fitness level or the stamina level, because he doesn't even complete games in that sense. He always come in as a sub, or if he plays starting, he always come off. And he had good games, I would say, in the preseason on that part. And I really hope, Ole says that he has plans for him, and Van de Beek being Van de Beek, he also said that he wanted to be fighting for his position in the team. The easiest thing to fight off is to get the DM position lah, because that's the most given position if you work very hard. Do some tackles, do some interception, have a very simple passing play, and I think he would be coming up the ranks lah. And I still have hope that he will be part of the plan, as what Ole says. With Varane coming in, with playing with the high line of defense, I hope that we can play at least Pogba and Van de Beek in the middle. At least to free up that space. So yeah, I really hope that Van de Beek is given the chance, and maybe, who knows, he will be given the chance over this Saturday against Newcastle. Next Saturday against Newcastle, because he's not even in the Dutch squad because of this. So quite heartbreaking, a rough patch for him. But yeah, let's see how he goes for Ole.
Okay, Fizal.
Yo.
Tanya, okay, ini I sebenarnya tak nak bring up this topic, but then I gotta bring this topic lah. So apparently juga Anthony Martial, Lyon nak ambil dia untuk loan, but member kita tak nak pergi. So do you think this is a improvement on Martial's point that dia nak fight untuk position dia? Because even with Cristiano Ronaldo coming in previously, when Zlatan come in, he was demotivated and whatnot. But this time around, Cristiano comes in, Martial juga nak fight. Jesse Lingard juga nak fight untuk position dia orang. Apa pendapat you?
For me, this one for me personally lah. If I was in the Martial and also Jesse Lingard punya shoes, if I was in their position, I would not also going out for next season, for this season, because of the Ronaldo factor. I want to train with him. I want to see how does he train, how does he prepare himself before the game or after the game. What meal, apa yang dia makan, apa yang
chicken breast, dia makan chicken breast saja, steam chicken breast. Itu semua orang dah tahu.
Adalah, no, I mean the last time of Cristiano Ronaldo was truly for me, I think it's a great move for Martial to stay, at least grab something from the Cristiano Ronaldo. Then who knows, maybe along the way there's gonna be like this season kita akan main at least 60 matches if we go all the way Champions League quarter final or semi final. If we go all the way, then one or two game kita akan guna Martial juga. So hopefully that will benefit lah him and Jesse Lingard stay dekat United, then there are some two game tu akan benefit for the club lah, maksudnya you gonna contribute goal or go in assist. Cuma back to Josh lah. I agree dengan apa dia cakap. Cuma about the Van de Beek, if I asking you guys, do you really see Van de Beek is a Man United type of player lah?
Yeah.
I think
I mean, why not? Yeah.
But the one thing I'm worried about, right? Dia bagi saya white sekarang. I mean, his position now, he reminds me of Alexis Sanchez. You know when Alexis Sanchez in the team that time kan, masa tu ada satu masa mereka cakap when dia makan seorang, apa seorang. I got the feeling that he's becoming an outcast from the group. I don't know lah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why, right? When players are given this kind of situation and circumstances, right, they need to perform on the pitch as well. And then also out of the pitch, they have all these kind of things going on. Because no doubt, you can see he's struggling to get game time, and then he's like the odd one out and stuff. Everyone is like happy, and he's alone like just sitting on the bench. Even dari dulu, you tahu bila masa dia datang dulu, first to warm up will be him. Nowadays also, I think he also like give up already. He only come up warm up maybe the last 10 minutes. Last time from the first half, he'll be running up and down already. He'll be like ready to go. So so. I don't know lah. When I look at this thing, it's like Josh mentioned lah. It's actually very sad to see lah. Very very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in under pressure because of, I think, Old Trafford, because of the fans, because of like media, British media, and all those things. I think he's really under pressure. But like coming back to the point where Josh said Van de Beek and Pogba can play together in the double pivot, but I don't think he's kind of player who would give you 100% when you play him at the CDM position along with or in a double pivot. I think ideally if he can play in replace of Bruno Fernandes, then that would be the ideal place. But we all know we cannot replace Bruno Fernandes. He's irreplaceable. So he's unlucky because we have a player who's Bruno Fernandes who's already giving 100 to 100%. But we, for the club and for the fans, we are lucky that we have Bruno Fernandes who's performing for us. So he's in a difficult situation where he needs to compete with Bruno Fernandes, and so far he's unable to compete because Bruno keep on performing assist goals. He doesn't get a chance to come and play one or two games. So he's really under pressure. And another thing, because Josh, for you, you follow Dutch league and Dutch national team as well. Louis van Gaal, he recently said there is no place for Van de Beek because he's not playing games. If he can play game, he can come back to the team, but not right now. Even in the Euros, he was injured and now he is out of team. So what do you think about for his long?
Yeah, I mean, so it's only fair, right, for the people who performs well to play for the national team, and I think that's only fair for the given chance in the Dutch league itself. People are performing so much to even be in the Dutch team, right? So, but what I see Van de Beek can be, and if he reach his highest potential, right, he could be our Gundogan type of character players, So he can be that kind of material where when the Bruno is off form or a Pogba is off form or even a false nine is off form, right? Van de Beek is that kind of player, and Gundogan also didn't start by coming into that first 11. He came through that slowly in the ranks. It's just that British media didn't attack Gundogan in that sense. We were unlucky.
You're talking about attacking, right? I don't think they are attacking Van de Beek. In fact, I think they are showing compassion and pity, to Van de Beek, poor Van de Beek.
They only attack Anthony Martial.
Yeah, they only attack Anthony Martial. That is the thing. That's why Martial needs my support.
And Paul Pogba
don't need my support. And Pogba.
And Paul Pogba, yes.
And Paul Pogba. I think they have
Exactly. That's why that's the thing about this Van de Beek situation. But yeah, that's why. But we hope the best because end of the day we want all of our our players to enjoy being in Manchester United, and we will always back them regardless. Even Van de Beek all the while we are backing him all the while. So guys, we are at the end of our segment. So what do you guys think? The return of Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, what's your opinion on our transfer window, the ins and outs? Okay, leave your opinions in the comment section below. Okay, keep it positive, keep it clean. All right, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Viva Ronaldo.
Cristiano!